We are 5 lines from the bottom of Mamches. And we had a pretty conclusive discussion of the principle that Torah and Israel, the oil in Torah is not a ha'ora that can be usurped by any Torah, by any levush. It is an oil atzmi. And as we pointed out, to just get into this, oil atzmi means versus a ha'ora. That, as an example, loy signoiv, which is a mitzvah in the Torah, it is mislabish and levushim. And the levushim are that there is individual possessions, and you must not violate this setup. And if you do, you're violating this setup. This is the levush. And this is what Torah that you're engaged in. That one should not violate the other person's rights, etc. The Torah perspective remains pure from a godly level. Etzem. You must not be loy signav, because be'etzem you should not be going it. The whole reality belongs to the Meilash, and you cannot violate this reality. That remains even as it comes into levushim, into the world. Like we said, in essence, loy signav is such a concept that it's altogether not possible, because there's only one owner to everything. But even if you come in a place where there is that possibility of levushim, that principle is not lost. This is that it's toiv be'etzem. And the Torah still continues to view this situation and all the levushim from that perspective, from that level. And it's absolutely reflected in all kinds of different halachas. But the aspect of Eitz Hadas. So define Das again, as briefly as we can. Chaim, Eitz HaChaim. Chaim is representing always the source of Chaim, as we said last night. There is no isolated Chaim. There's a story in the Gemara tells us about Chuleh HaMagil. Chuleh HaMagil was a tzaddik of the highest caliber, and he was a Tana. And the Tanoim always refer to Tana HaKodesh, Tanoim HaKodesh. And there's this whole story with Chuleh HaMagil because of some question that he had, that he fell asleep and he slept for 70 years. When he woke up, no one, of course, knew him. And he was going around and he was saying, Ani choyni, Ani choyni, they would mock him. He came to Beis Medrash, and in Beis Medrash they were debating about Chuleh HaMagil's opinion. Did he mean it this way? Did he mean it this way? So he comes up, I'm Chuleh. This is what I meant. They mocked him. So he said, Ribono Shel Olam, Eich havrusa oy misus. Either give me a community, give me an environment, chaverim, or I can't live here. This is not life. Chuleh HaMagil said that. This is even, so to speak, on a low, practical level. There's no such thing as life in isolation. Life is when you see somebody else also alive. So you know that you're living. But it's a das. Das is just a contrary. Das is that which identifies individual separate entities. There's no relationship between one and another. So Neitz Hadas. Okay, let's continue. Al Bechinas Hadas, but the Bechinas of Neitz Hadas, Shezehu b'derech klal, which is over in general, Bechinas ha'haora ha'elikis, that represents the ha'ora elikis, shemislabeshes bo'elumis, that is actually mislabesh, becomes defined totally by world. And that's why it's a ha'ora. Because only ha'ora can be fully mislabish, become reinterpreted according to the place where it is made. Again, to demonstrate the principle of ha'ora mislabeshes, it is, like we speak all the time, the oir hashemesh. We speak of oir as oir, the oir of the shemesh. But then there's ha'ora of the oir, which is mislabesh ba'ilamis and becomes part and parcel of the physical, definitive principles of world. And we say, you know how come it shines? You know how come you see the object? Because it hits a tangible object. It's not that the oil illuminates it. It actually relates to a tangible object, and the world remains tangible. Not like when you see it from an oil perspective, when you don't see the tangibility, you see its message and its form. That's means it's mislabish in oils. And why is this? Because it's only a ha'ara. It's not the etzem oil hashemesh. Again, I hope I'm not boring you. Ha'ara means it has the effect of light, but not the essence of light.
I missed this last point that you're trying to bring out.
Sorry?
I missed this last point. You're making the point that I missed the
The ha'ara
tangibility.
is mislabish.
Yeah.
I'm explaining what does mislabsh mean,
Yeah.
and what is ha'ara, how come ha'ara can be mislabish. You're saying oil cannot be mislabish. It's mislabish, but it's not mislabish to the point where it is totally contained within the lavush. Like we say always, the principle. The sun makes day. Day makes it possible to see objects. But that fact that day makes it possible to see objects does not capture the element of day. And you're able to see objects as a result of day because there's no way that you could not see. Like we say, Odom Orishi, Mabit Bey Meseif O'Elam Bat Sefer. But the Oyesh and Nivra Bey Rishi.
The ha'ara elokis that come, that's mislabish in the oilamos. What is it giving? When it's mislabish, what is that giving to the oilamos?
It's giving them their definitive presence.
But the fact that it's eloki, that's not mislabish.
And the key creates it. And it's a reality. For example, going back to our classical table. A table, in essence, is a human spirit. Yet, this same table, this human spirit can stand in Macy's for sale. What's a table? How can there be a table over there? There's no human spirit there. It's a showroom. Because this human spirit is a ha'ora of the human spirit. It's not the essence.
And it has the effect of the
And
essence.
therefore it can be mislavish in the levush, and the levush becomes a mitzvah unto itself.
Mm. The fact that it's a mitzias, that's the effect of the essence. In other words, the essence, the etzem is the true mitzias. And the fact that there's a ha'ara that's mislabish in a tangible reality, that's the effect of the etzem?
Oh, no. No, I see what you're saying. No, just the
Trying
opposite.
to follow the...
I understand, no. The ha'ara is mislabish in the world, which means it loses its godly significance, godly message. Becomes part and parcel of the world, which a world is a tangible material. That's what world is. This is why when the world was first created, it was dark. And the only way you can identify objects is by touching it, by its tangibility. In the tangible world, there is no difference between a table, a chair, a wall. There's no difference. The identity becomes later on the spirit that's on the oyer. What does it stand for?
So you see the ha'ara element in the what is this stand for.
Right.
That's the ha'ara element.
That's a ha'ara. Okay, so now, this ha'ara is mislabish in a gashim zikifet. The ha'ara of a table, the table I said presents a human spirit. The principle of human respect, or whatever it may be, a very fine element. And that, because it's only ha'ara, a reflection of the human spirit, of the human respect, it is possible for it to be mislavish in kelim of the world and be presented by a physical entity. And as we always point out, that the human being encounters an object in the dark and he's feeling it. What is he feeling? What is he looking for? What does it look like? What does it look like? He's looking for the oil. In contrast to the animal, when he sees something in light, what is he looking at? What does it feel like? What is it made of? Is it meat or bone? That's what we're saying, that Torah and seven or two is at a time.
So in the mush of the light of the sun, it's the rays of the sun in the world as we relate to it. Is this hara?
No. The ray of the sun is like a hara. The sun is the real thing. This is a hara. This is something that goes out and separates from the sun. This is why we say when the ray comes, it illuminates the objects within the darkness. And the reason we're able to see it is because the object, the physicality object, deflects it, not because it becomes light. It does away with darkness. The world remains what it is.
Because you're only dealing with a ha'ara.
Because only dealing with the ha'ara. The ha'ara of light. Light has no darkness, and in light, by definition, everything is visible. The visibility is what the reality is, not the tangibility. That's in light. In darkness, the tangibility is the reality. When you bring light and you shine it on an object, you have not changed the essential situation that you are still basically in a tangible world. But you're able to see. So you have a ha'ara of visibility. Not the reality of visibility, a ha'ara visibility. This is called the ha'ara. And there, the oir, the ha'ara is also mishtana, it changes according to the keli. How come you see this object in contrast to this one? Why do they look different? Because of the keli. The keli makes it, because the oil is mislavish in the keli. The oil shenivru b'yem rishon, tatodom rishon mabit b'yem b'seiv oilam b'at sefer, and we explained many times. You have to think about it. Light, as we know it, is not possible, not because of its power, the eyesight. It's not possible that you should see b'seiv oilam b'at sefer, because the light becomes obstructed by any object that it shines upon. And therefore you cannot see on the other side. The light doesn't even reach there. This is what's called the shade. So how can it be the Mabit Ben B'Sefer Ayun Bat Sefer? By the time you pass by a mountain, the rest of the world cannot be seen, because it's a kind of light. It's not a ray of light, it's the light of the sun. Sun rules, let me say, Mamshelas, the sun rules the world at that time.
It's still the light of the sun?
It's the sun. It's Oir HaShemesh. It's the oil of sun, not Ha'or of the sun. In other words, it illuminates, we said, light to the sun is of the same caliber as darkness to us. Therefore, whenever there is sun, the light eliminates, it captures the entire environment. The sun rules. That's called Mamshelas. That's why the word says Mamshelas. The sun rules. I'll tell you it rules. It illuminates. It rules. The world belongs to the sun at that point. There's no darkness. The reason you're able to see object is because there is no darkness. The world is in a different caliber of light.
You're saying you don't have that light anymore. You're saying that was light from the omniscient.
Right. That light was concealed. And it says that light was concealed into the sun. But it doesn't, right, into the atom of the sun.
Into the sun itself.
And because it's concealed in the essence of the sun, therefore it comes to us through the sun. Therefore it already has the limitations of being a light of a luminary, not an essential light. Nevertheless, I can always point out, this is a sensitive thing, and I hope you can see it. We have daytime. And daytime, the simple physical reality of daytime is that there is the ray of the sun ray is enormous, and it spreads all over. And as a result of that, it illuminates the entire reality. As we said, there is no darkness. You can't define day by saying, oh, it's daytime, so I can see over there. It's incongruous. It's not in the same realm, not in the same level. But when we say this, that it's day, there is no darkness. We say that it's day, it's not because we have light all over. Well, because we have the sun. If not for the sun, we could not relate to this principle, this kind of light. Because it doesn't belong in the world, in the physical world. Okay.
If not for the sun, you could not relate.
If
The
not
sun,
for
the
us,
sun, yeah, the sun here stands for an infinite source, some
right,
kind
and
of
the
essential
essence,
source.
the essential
yeah,
source.
yeah.
This is similar to what we say, that a person cannot relate to the world if he cannot see it. Why? He touches it. It's not real.
It's not real because he doesn't have that feeling of embedded sort of infinity. He doesn't have that feeling of source.
Reality. He said, if, think about this, if this thing becomes known to me because it affects my,
Right.
it's not known to me from its own perspective, it's known to me how it affects me,
Not from a reality.
not from a reality perspective.
Mhm.
It's not real. They have a picture. A picture makes a very profound effect on a person. But is it real? It's an alternative reality. It's not real. It's only a picture. Huh?
Interesting.
And if we did not see a living human being, only saw a painting of a human being, what would it mean to us?
Pretty lonely world.
If we never saw it,
Never saw a human being. You see a painting of a human being?
Wouldn't it be real?
Huh?
The world wouldn't be real.
Yeah. The reason that a painting is so real is because we know what reality is. Okay. Okay, 4 lines on the bottom. The line begins with chuleh and of course parentheses. Eitz hadaz, this is how that becomes part and parcel of the word. Shemishtal shel bebchinas tevara, and therefore it descends, devolves into the bebchinas tevara. Even though it comes from ha'or elikis, and in Lakus there is no tevara, but because it's mishtal shei bo ilumis, it actually it presents itself in the form of tevara, and the reason that is possible, that the Lakus should become in the sense of tevara, zeh mipnei shehu b'chinas ha'or olamah. It is due to the fact that this ha'or elikis is only ha'or, not the etzem ha'or. Ha'or, it's an allusion to elikut, an allusion to the truth. It's not the actual, it's a presence of the truth. B'zehu gamkein, this too points to the fact of the fact that the ha'or elikis that is in world, even though it's ha'or elikis, it comes into the world in a hagbala fashion, in a definitive, limited fashion. To discuss this, we'll have to leave it. Just want to go, just the next line. Dechein, being that, the klolos hamshachosoi. The hamshach, this haora lekis that comes into world overall. This haora. In general, the oil that comes into the world, which is the kav v'chut, which is the kav that comes after the tzimtzum, comes after the tzimtzum. Because it's after the tzimtzum, it's a kav. It comes in the form of a light, of a thin draw. Are you okay?
Yeah.
So far okay?
Huh? Everything is okay. It's just got a wire hooked and pulled everything down.
Yes, there is an end and a limit to how far it can go. Okay, one more at the end of the line and we'll get something to think about. The who, and the principle in this is that its external bottom edge doesn't touch, doesn't reach the Sof HaMakif. And therefore, by definition, it brings Gvul with it. I'll let you think into this. All right, this will be it for this morning.
Thank you.
What? Sorry?
Video start.